Calaroga Shark Media.
Happy Valentine's Day. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac with a very, very busy daily comedy news. Are Trevor Noah and Spotify having a little thing? Remember at the Grammys, Trevor made a joke about the music industry and royalties and took a shot at Spotify. And I thought it was kind of curious that he did that. Well, Semaphore writes, 6 months after they did a deal, the relationship has already soured. Noah's team has discussed renegotiating or altering his contract with Spotify, possibly having Trevor opting out of his minimum guarantee. That's the amount he's paid to produce a certain number of podcasts. The issue? Trevor wanted to bring on newsy figures as guests. Spotify prefers celebrity interviews. A spokesperson for Spotify pushed back against Semaphore, saying, "We're happy with the show. We have no news or any changes to share. I've been doing this a long time. This story wouldn't get out there. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Something's up." And I was looking at it. Trevor's podcast yesterday was down to number 247 overall. Let's see where it is right now as I record on Tuesday morning. Holy cow. It is out of the top ranking of all podcasts. On February 11th at 1 o'clock on the Apple charts, United States of America, all podcasts, it was number 247. Right now, at around 11 o'clock on Tuesday morning, it is not ranking at all. Now, generally what happens is when you release a new episode, it spikes the charts a little bit. That's part of the reason I release every day. Let's see, Trevor, January 25th, February 1st, and 5 days ago. So he's scheduled to put it on the 15th. So if you look at the release cycle, we're towards the end here. But being out of the top charts, that is, it's embarrassing. I'll use the word embarrassing. Very shocking for Trevor Noah. Now, as I looked at it, I have been listening to some episodes, but not others. I particularly loved the Kevin Hart episode, but last week they titled the episode Trevor and Friends, BTS at the Grammys. Trevor, Ben Winston, and Friends discuss the Grammys. And I just was like, I don't know. I don't care about the Friends. I just want to hear Trevor. Jon Stewart has indeed returned as host of The Daily Show. Let's listen.
My name is Jon Stewart. Now, where was I? I'm excited to be back. I'm very excited to be back. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Why am I back? You may be asking yourselves. It's a very reasonable question. I have committed a lot of crimes. From what I understand, talk show hosts are granted immunity, so it doesn't make a lot of sense, but take it up with the founders.
Later in the show, he anchored a bit that had the correspondents Ronnie Chang, Desi Leidick, Michael Costa, and Dulce Sloan reporting from a diner. Jordan Klepper did a desk bit. Jordan is hosting the rest of the week this week. In John's list of topics that they might talk about, when he said, maybe we'll talk about China, maybe we'll talk about AI, that apparently a shot at Apple, those were two of the subjects that the New York Times says created friction over at The Problem. On Monday, Jon Stewart was on CBS Mornings and said, I very much wanted to have some kind of place to unload thoughts as we get into this election season. And I thought I was going to do it over at, they call it Apple TV Plus, and said they felt that they didn't want me to say things that might get me in trouble. I just thought, who better to comment on this election than someone who truly understands two aging men past their prime? NPR reviewed the show and saying, Jon Stewart's Daily Show return is so smooth, it's like he never left. Colbert had on John Oliver. Oliver's making the rounds. I don't know what he's promoting. I guess the new season of Last Week Tonight. He made some cracks about Lionel Messi, which I'll share with you because A, they're funny, and B, it allows me to promote our podcast, The Messi Effect. On The Messi Effect, we follow Lionel Messi, but not so much the soccer part, the rest of it, the showbiz. Anyway, here's John Oliver.
Messi was in a commercial.
Yeah.
That was, again, for non-American citizens, seeing Messi there is, this is a big deal.
Yeah. Things are changing.
Messi's pretending he likes a drink for you.
Does he not enjoy the drinks?
What was it for? I can't even remember.
Michelob Ultra?
Oh, he doesn't drink Michelob Ultra. There's no way Lionel Messi drinks Michelob Ultra. I know, we all saw him on the beach. We all saw him take a swig of something. There is no way. I wish Mickey was here because I'd have him involved in this as well. Lionel Messi does not drink Michelob Ultra. Fact.
It truly is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Adam Sandler will have a new comedy special. It's directed by Josh Safdie, who directed Uncut Gems. No date or details on that, but a new Adam Sandler special. Can't wait. By the way, I wrote the script for Saturday's upcoming episode where I only say nice things about Adam Sandler movies. I'm planning on doing that on Saturday. I wrote the script, just have to voice it now. More comedy fights. Shannon Sharpe, who his podcast has become the hotbed of comedians fighting with comedians. This is a lot of fun, and this got covered by USA Today. Shannon Sharpe may be looking for comedian Mike Epps. On Sunday's episode of the Nightcap podcast, Sharpe pointed to the camera and said to Epps that Epps had lied when he said Shannon Sharpe reached out to him to appear on the Club Shay Shay podcast. Sharpe said, "Now when I see you, I'm going to see if you're really about that. Say my name again. I got something for your expletive." USA Today says during a recent stand-up performance, Mike Epps joked that he'd been approached by Sharpe to come on Club Shay Shay and indicated that Sharpe is gay and appeared ready to sexually assault comedian Katt Williams during a January interview. What? They quote Epps as saying, "Shannon Sharpe called me trying to do an interview. No, Medea, I ain't doing no interview, so you can sit across from me and look at my testicles when I'm sitting down. I thought he was going to attack Katt. The show is called Shay Shay. The guy's telling you, put a wig on, tell me if that isn't Medea's sister." Sharpe said, "Say your little jokes, get your little laugh off, have fun, but just don't lie and say something when I didn't. I'm going to tell you what somebody told me one time. What is jokes to you is death to someone else." Apparently in a now deleted post, Epps wrote, "So many people talk crazy about you, but now you want to fight me? I DM'd you to get on the show because you brought my name up when you were sitting there with Katt and you were trying to get him to talk crazy about me, but he didn't. You did look like Medea sitting there. You was looking zesty. I'm not saying you gay. You need to take those tight shirts off with the muscles." In a Twitter post on Monday, Sharpe said he and Epps plan to meet up and discuss this at this weekend's NBA All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis. Shannon tweeted, "Unc and Mike Epps have decided to have a man-to-man conversation in Indy at NBA All-Star Weekend to discuss our differences. We both realized this situation should have been handled differently. I apologize to family, friends, loved ones, and my fans." Monique was recently on with Shannon Sharpe. She has now joined Katt Williams' tour. See, I love all this fighting. On Instagram, Monique says, "I want to tell you about my twin brother, Katt Williams. Baby, guess what? I'm going to be joining my twin brother, Katt Williams, on the Dark Matter tour." From News 1, comedian David Lucas won't apologize for tasteless jokes about George Floyd's police murder. They report during a performance at the Funny Bone in Manchester, Connecticut, David Lucas angered some audience members when he made an insensitive remark about the 2020 murder of George Floyd. Before making the joke, Lucas had heckled a black audience member who shouted that he was a vulgar thing during his routine. The two traded insults back and forth before the Floyd-related joke. I'm not going to repeat the joke. News 1 says later on in a video, several black audience members could be seen walking out of the venue, visibly disgusted by Lucas's joke. According to the report, instead of apologizing, Lucas made another offensive joke, noting how he was just warming up with his joke about Floyd. On Instagram, David Lucas has been seen promoting a few upcoming shows and a comedy special. He captioned a photo of himself holding a fish. The caption read, "Getting canceled ain't that bad." Meanwhile, I told you yesterday about Paul Curry. This from The Express. To remind you, Paul Curry came under fire for reportedly screaming at a member of the audience who did not join a standing ovation when Curry pulled out a Palestinian flag. The Metropolitan Police have confirmed they might investigate. Soho theater bosses have apologized. Curry has now posted a pro-Palestine poster on his Instagram with the caption, "I will not quietly nor politely sit and make house with the depravity of this killing machine." And here's the unexpected twist. The Express writes, "Since news of the alleged incident at the Soho Theatre emerged, audience members at a previous show in Australia claim Curry verbally abused and evicted them after they refused to drink an unknown liquid." The allegations say Curry claimed to try to force the audience to drink from a glass, which he said contained soy milk. Found an article here from 2016 in Adelaide Now. Daniel Purvis and his female friend, who asked not to be identified, said Curry had tried to force a number of people to drink from a glass. Purvis said, "He tried to force the glass in my mouth, trying to get it through my hands. I found that to be quite shocking. Then he poured what was left over my head because I refused. I don't know who would drink from the glass." This same article quotes Cassandra Toombs, operator of the venue, who said that she had been told that Purvis and the friend had been disrupting the show. Toombs said, "They turned their chairs upside down. They were just killing the whole show, and Paul asked them to leave. That's the version I heard." As for the current incident, the Soho Theatre told The Express, "We're so sorry and saddened by an incident that took place at our venue, etc., etc. We take this very seriously and are looking into detail of what happened as thoroughly, as sensitively, and as quickly as we can." Congratulations to Kev Mudd, who was crowned the UK Pun Champion of 2024 at the Leicester Comedy Festival. His puns in the final included, "I can't go to the toilet without taking candles. I'm a party pooper." Some more puns. "I was at a kid's party and they said, there's an ice cream man outside, but by the time I got there, he had melted." One more. "What do Pompeii and Kim Kardashian have in common? Nobody would have heard of them if it wasn't for their massive ash." Kate McKinnon is writing a children's book It is called the Millicent Quibb School of Etiquette for Young Ladies of Mad Science. It's aimed at readers aged 8 to 12. It'll come out in October. It revolves around 4 sisters in the town of Antiquarium's lone mad scientist, Millicent Quibb. Kate says, I wanted to write the kind of book that I would have loved reading when I was younger, when I was eating honeysuckle on the playground and collecting bugs and falling in love with the natural world. She said she started working on this before appearing on SNL. BBC sitcom Gavin and Stacey is coming back for a Christmas special. If you're not familiar with this one, it stars James Corden. They'll film it over the summer. It'll air at Christmas time, 5 years after the previous special. I'm looking forward to this. Author Bill Zemi has a bio coming out chronicling Johnny Carson. Carson's fascinating. I've read a few bios of him. Zemi was the last person to ever interview Carson back in 2002 for an Esquire profile. The project was sidetracked in 2013 when Zemi got cancer. He never got back to the manuscript and passed away in March of last year. The book has now been completed by Mike Thomas, who is Zemi's longtime researcher and has published his own book on Phil Hartman. Bill Zemi's Carson the Magnificent, bookstores November 5th. And congratulations to the National Comedy Center, voted 2023's Best of the Best in the Chautauqua, I hope I got that right, Chautauqua, leave it in, Chautauqua County, leave it in, Best in the Chautauqua County for family fun as it celebrated its 5-year anniversary. A seat with the Comedy Center said, we are honored that the Chautauqua County voted the National Comedy Center the best of the best for family fun. This follows the U.S. News and World Report naming the Comedy Center a 25 top family weekend getaway in the entire United States. That list includes Walt Disney World and Disneyland. And the Chautauqua County resident discount makes it even more affordable for everyone in the family. If you're a local, tell me how you say that word. That's your comedy news for today. See you tomorrow.